All right, go ahead.
Well, what's it like to see Slade come out and pitch the way he did with what you guys were doing offensively?
I mean, as a team, that's awesome. Like, we have a tough couple games and coming like that, start hitting, stay getting hot. That's awesome for everybody.
Slade, how do you feel going into the ninth?
Felt good. Felt like I still had some gas in the tank. Some tough luck there with some balls just that close. But last game went through the eighth, struggled a little bit, learned from it. Got through the eighth today, went into the ninth, struggled a little bit. Gonna learn from it and be better next time.
How good does that feel just to do that, to get into the ninth?
It felt awesome. I've been wanting to throw a complete game my whole career. It's been something I've dreamed about doing, something I know I will do one day. Thought it was going to be today, but the lessons I learned from today are going to help me next time I get the chance.
How much do you think emotions, Slade, play into? You just talked about getting to the eighth and then the ninth. What are the emotions like when you run back out there in the ninth? Are you more pumped up than you are maybe in the first inning?
I try not to be, but it's inevitable, the first time you do something. But I think last game, the first time going into the eighth, I had kind of those same emotions that I had today going into the ninth. And, it's a little science here that parasympathetic nervous system kind of just knows you're doing something you've never done before. So you can try to control it as much as you want, but as soon as you do it for the first time and get it over with and your body kind of knows what that feels like, it's gonna be smooth sailing from now on. I'm gonna know that feeling, and I'm gonna be able to really execute in those moments a little bit better than I did today.
You were pumping your fists. It looked like after that strikeout, was that just because you got one on the board, or what was that?
Oh, the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, gosh, man, it's what was it, the sixth inning? So I gotten some guys at two strikes, They put a couple good swings on two-strike pitches that were, located, ended up being outs. They hammered two-strike pitches that were not located, and there was one area today. I think my two-strike execution could have been a little better.
Just for you to keep that same stroke that you had before the break, how important is that, and how have you been able to maintain that?
I mean, I'm trying to get simple, like get to the play, do my work, and go and compete. That's the biggest thing.
What was that different than before you were optioned back to Columbus? Like, is that the biggest change you think from the first time up here to now?
I mean, when they send me down, I'm trying to reset my mind and know who I can be as a player, know who I am, and when they send me up again, trying to do my best and knowing who I am.
Slade, we continue to see you get deeper and deeper into games. How have you been able to build up to that? What do you attribute that to?
Experience doing it. I mean, you got to do it and you got to fail to learn. You experience a lot more learning from failure than you do success. And, it's like I've had some success going, 80, 90 pitches. Then first, one or two times going 100. That last inning was tough. We learned from it. I'm going 100 plus now. 2 times in a row. That's just getting the experience and learning from it and letting your body get used to doing it. So that way the emotions and the mental side of the game stays the same in those once foreign aspects.
After your outing in Houston, you were talking to Andre about the importance of being where your feet are at, especially on a night where you're not getting a punch out until later in a game. And then it's easy to think about, okay, this is a career high for me. I want to go to a complete game. How hard is that to truly just focus on one pitch at a time?
Really hard. And going into that ninth inning, I kept having to tell myself not to think about, finishing the game. Just finish the next pitch and get to the next pitch and get to the next pitch. And I do feel like I was able to do a good job of that because I was conscious of it, but I'll be able to control, my body a little bit better next time now that I'm used to it and I've done it before.
You talked after one of your more recent starts about the team wasn't doing well at the time. You inspired you to confidence that it's long enough kind of come to where it is now. Like, just what do you think of the way the team's kind of bounced back from that losing streak, and where do you see it going from here?
I see these guys work every day. They show up to the yard with the same attitude, the same work ethic, with the same everything. And, you show up 8, 9, 10 losses in, and everybody's still got the same attitude. It's like, okay, this group's going to get through this. You know it, because nobody's hanging their heads, nobody's dwelling on the day before. Everybody's present. Word I love to use now, present in the moment that they're in, working their butt off and being ready for the game that day. And sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't go your way for a while, but then you're ready when it starts going your way to take advantage of those games. When everything's clicking and you go from losing 10 in a row to winning 7 out of 8, 8 out of 9. And it's this game, man. This game's tough sometimes. You lose games a lot of different ways, you win games a lot of different ways. So it's a long-winded answer for that question.
Slade, what pitches were working for you this evening, and at what point were you really feeling like you're really locked in?
Felt good with pretty much everything but the slider. Slider was coming and going. I threw a couple good ones, hung a couple. Those 2 homers were hung sliders and 2 strike counts that need to be executed better. But curveball felt pretty good. We were kind of using a similar game plan to last time. It was funny. We got an early lead, started mixing 4s and 2s, getting early contact, a lot of ground balls, and the game plan held pretty true to that.
With all the ground balls for you, Roke, just what's that like as an infielder to know you're going to be part of every inning, basically, it seemed like?
Yeah. For me, it's awesome. Like keep in the game. Sometimes you don't have any ground ball in the game, so to me, it's good to have a couple ground balls in the game defensively.
What can you tell us about Junior Batanzas now that he's up here? What's your relationship with him?
Wow, that's awesome. Like he know me from the beginning when I signed 2017 to now stay in the big league. For me, it's awesome because he give me confidence. He know how I am. So for me, stay with me in the major league. That's pretty awesome and pretty confident too.
Okay, how was your presence today?
Locked in.
Thanks,